Hello everyone, it's Julie here at Big Lakes Dodge. Today I'll be showing you this absolutely stunning 2025 Ram 1500 Tungsten Crew Cab with 4x4. On the outside it is red pearl. For our engine we have a 3-liter i6 high output twin turbo engine. So it is a high output, so you need premium fuel in this one, but it has better performance. So if you're towing something, it'll do better that way in that regard. 8-speed automatic transmission. We have our LED headlights in the front, which are automatic. I believe we also have the automatic headlamp control, so it will dim automatically when you're driving around at night with your brights on. You're not going to be brighting anyone, it'll dim. It also has the headlight steer, so I don't know if you can kind of see there, but it is kind of like an independent thing. So when you are turning, it will steer the headlights as well to kind of go in the direction that you're turning in, so that way you can have more visibility in that regard. And then we have our active grille shutters, which are inside our grille there. So we have our grille shutters that close up when you're driving. I believe it's over 60 kilometers per hour, so that'll help redirect the air so it doesn't go through your rad, it'll go around the vehicle instead. Got our parking sensors on the front here, which will beep when you get too close to something, so that's handy to keep your truck looking nice. Then we also have our camera for our 360 view, so those are all around the truck. I'll point them out as we go along, but that just aids in the 360 view. You can also have a view of just the front end of the vehicle, so if you're getting close to something, you want to make sure that you're not going to bump it, and you can go ahead and use that there. Got our fog lights down at the bottom, Ram badging in the middle. Honestly, just a stunning truck all around. It does say tungsten on the side here, so underneath the Ram badging we also have the little tungsten badging there. And it does show that it's the high output engine, so it has HO, just to remind you that it is the high output. For wheels, we got 22-inch rims, so those are pretty big if you can tell there. For our suspension, we have the air ride suspension, so with that you'll have the smoothest ride possible. It rides beautifully, like a dream, honestly. And then we have deployable side steps, so when you open up the door they come out automatically. You also have the option to bring them back in your Uconnect screen, but they come out when you open up the doors. It also has proximity keyless entry, so it does have a little sensor on the back here that when you have the key within 5 feet and you put your hand here, it'll automatically unlock the door, so you don't need to pull your key out or anything like that. For our mirrors, they are powered, telescoping, heated. We also have the blind spot monitoring on there, and then we have our turn signal supplementals. So lots and lots to talk about. Usually I'd be looking on the inside already, but let me show you this gorgeous interior. This alone will probably win you over, but here's a look at our door. Very fancy. It really breaks it up with the light gray accents. We got some light brown stitching there as well, the chrome, and then this carbon fiber panel piece. It looks like it's almost a quilted kind of feel to it. And then all of our buttons on here, so we have our power locks, power windows, pretty typical. But what's not typical is having your controls for your seats. So you can see usually they're along the side here. This one's a little fancier because you don't have to dig on the side. You go ahead and use these ones, and it adjusts so many different ways, so you have to play with it. That's forward and back. I'm just moving it as such. This is what is that again? Oh, that's this right here. Okay, so that's your knee, so if you need some extra support there or less support, you can move that up and down. That's just this little one here. This one is for the rear, I believe. I played with these and I forgot because there's just so many options, but all of these adjust your seat, and then this one adjusts your headrest actually, so that is also power adjustable. You can see that moving around there. So this one adjusts your headrest. Make sure that it's in the right position to help reduce whiplash, because you want that nice and snug against your head. And then this one is for our massaging chair. So these are heated, vented. They're also premium face leather seats, but they're heated, vented, powered, and massaging as well. So not only are you going to be nice and warm or nice and cold, whichever you prefer, but you can also have a luxurious massage as you're going along on your road trip. We also have lots of lumbar support, so you can adjust it many different ways, the shoulders, the back, and then I believe right here as well. So lots and lots of support, lots of different ways to adjust it. You kind of have to play with it, figure out how you want it to be the most comfortable for you. But then the massaging chairs have lots of different settings. This one just turns it on to what it's already at. Then you can adjust the intensity of it, more or less massaging power. But that's going there. Like, I don't think you can see it, but it is moving around in there. And you just click it again, that turns it off. So very fancy. Not only are the seats gorgeous, but very luxurious in their function as well. Our jack compartment, which is typical, you pull this plastic panel piece off and then your jack is located under there. It's just so that way it's in a nice and neat spot. We have these carpet floor mats, which are very fancy. They have the tungsten badging on there. We have these little paper inserts to protect them. But look at that. And that's pretty solid too. Like, these are solid floor mats. What else? Oh yeah, okay. Moving upwards. There's lots to talk about in here. So we'll look in our glove compartment. We have our tailgate removal kit, which when you take your tailgate off, you would go ahead and pop that in there, pop your wiring in there. That's just to help prevent corrosion. If you do take your tailgate off and you pop this on there to protect your wiring, just remember to hook back up the wiring before you close that, otherwise you won't be able to open your tailgate without opening up the access panel. Then we have our owner's manual, which has a little pouch to hold all this information for you. So it has the handbook, our consumer information, Sirius XM information, and a quick start guide. So if you ever need to reference anything quickly, it has that for you. These little bad boys here are your tire pressure monitoring for your trailer. So it does have lots of features for your trailering, but this is just one of those accessories. So you would install this on your trailer, trailer tires, and then you can monitor the pressure of them, make sure that if you're getting it flat, you go ahead and fill that up. But that's just that right there, and that's located in your glove box. And then those ones also go in there as well. There's a little bit of extra room to throw some gloves in. And then above that, we have this fancy little screen here. So I'm gonna hop on in. You press, has a little power button here. You can also turn it on in your Uconnect system, but you can also just quickly click that. So we have, you can access your audio, you can access video. So if you have a USB, you can connect it through that and then play videos off of there, or you can connect through HDMI cable and play a movie or whatever. You can also have alerts and then controls. So that would be for your, I guess the brightness, wireless headphones. Thought you could also control your climate, but I suppose not. Oh wait, maybe. There we go. So you can also enter navigation destinations right here. You can connect your device and then switch between your connected devices. You can also, oh my god, you can also view your cameras right here. I didn't play with this enough apparently. There's just so much on this truck. I was going through it and I did not get through absolutely everything, but there you go. You can also view your cameras there. So it's a really handy little screen. Your passenger can help you out with navigation and whatnot. Alright, and then you just turn that back off. This was just supposed to be a quick look on this side, so I'll hop back out, I guess. And there's one more quick look there. We'll go on into the rear. There's lots to talk about back here as well. So we got our doors. I didn't even mention on the front, we got our door pockets, power locks. It's just as fancy back here. We don't have the massaging seats, but our seats are heated and vented as well. They're also premium leather faced. The headrests do fold down. So if ever you're packing something around and you want to have that extra bit visibility behind you, you can go ahead and put those down and you see behind you better. They do recline, which I forgot to do beforehand. You know what, I'm just gonna hop up in here while I pull it forward. So you sit here, it has a little, let me hop out and show you. It has this little guy, this little lever. You pull that, you slide forward, and there you go. You can see we have our seat. It is reclined. You can compare it against that one. So when you pull this bottom part forward, this part goes back, and then you have a more comfortable ride. But that's how you go ahead and do that. And then to push it back in, you just do the same thing. Pull that little lever there, push back in. This is my weak arm, don't judge me. All right, and then this middle seat also pulls down for your 2 extra cup holders and some extra storage space. So you got that in there. yeah, if you don't need that extra seat, it's just nice to have that extra storage space and the cup holders. Our controls for the heated and vented seats are down in the middle here. So we have the heat settings, which have 3 different modes. Then we have our vented seats, our USB and our USB-C ports, as well as a 115 volt outlet. So if you are wanting to plug in like your laptop or something like that, you can go ahead and do that there. Beside that, we have our vent controls, so that just directs the airflow. And then 2 more cup holders above that. All right, one thing I did forget to mention is this is a Klipsch, I hope I pronounced that right, Klipsch sound system. So it's a premium sound system. Got speakers all throughout. My little sheet that I have here that I reference my information from does not say how many speakers, but I've counted probably more than 10 already. So there's one there, one there, one there, one up on the door there, up there, up there. Got some on the front doors, one in the middle up there. So tons and tons of speakers, really good sound system, and it also looks bougie, so that's a plus. Got a rear power sliding window. One thing I also forgot to mention, but I'm sure you noticed, we have our dual-pane panoramic sunroof. So that has 2 panes. The sunshade does stop in the middle, so that's one thing to keep in mind when you're opening it up. But you can see basically the whole sky from inside the truck. So there's one more thing. One more, okay. We have our floor mat, which is in one long piece here. Very good quality, very nice and thick, and this is very solid. But we roll that back a little. And then we have our in-floor storage bins, which have these tie-down hooks. So if you are putting something across here, you can tie it down from that one to this one. You open this up, and then we have our in-floor storage bins, which do have a removable liner, so you can take that out. You still have your bin there, but it does have a measuring tape, measuring, I don't know, you can measure things there. So if you catch a big fish, you can measure it with that if you don't have a measuring tape. If you spill anything in there, you can take that out and clean it easily. But that's our in-floor storage bins. We have them on both sides, this side and that side as well. And it's just covered up by your floor mat, so it looks nice and neat. Oh, and one more thing. The seats do fold up. So if you are needing that extra space of the flat surface here, you can fold those up if you're bringing home tons of groceries. And then this right here, I forgot to look into it. It says bag toolkit on it. I think that quite possibly might be our Ram tow assist kit. I'll have to look into it a little more, but we got this little box that has some accessories in there for you. And then we're gonna hide that again. All right, so there's a quick look back here. It wasn't as quick as I thought it'd be, but quick look. Close that up. Go on into the back. Then we have our Ram boxes, which should open up because I have it unlocked. So all you do is press that, opens it up, or you can use your physical key and open that up. And then when we open it up, we have these interior lights there, so that way you can see what you're grabbing in case it's dark. It does have an emergency like open latch thing, so you could open it up if somehow, I don't know, if somehow a little kid ends up in there. I don't think a little kid would fit, but it does have this emergency latch to open it up. And then we do have these little plugs in here, so if ever it gets filled up with liquid, you can open that up and drain them out. I've heard some people say that they put ice in here and use it to store their drinks, like a cooler. So you can also do that and then drain that for the liquid afterwards. But lots of space to throw drinks or tools, whatever you need. It has it on both sides, has a little round box badging there, and then these little inserts here, like these little indents, so you can put something to divide up your cargo if needed. So that's our handy dandy little Ram boxes. Got our 4x4 off-roading badging. Our bed step, which we also have a deployable bed step, but this one's just a regular bed step that's on all of our trucks. It does have a little bit more clearance. I believe it's, I think it might be 6 inches of extra clearance compared to the older models. And that's just so that way if snow's piling up here, snow and ice, and then you open up your tailgate, it's not gonna hit it and dent it, at least not as quickly. You have a little more time to clear that off. Then we have these ones, which are for your hookups for your trailer cameras. So if you do want that reversing trailer camera or anything like that, These are your hookups for that. Over here we have our wiring harnesses, so that's our 7-pin and our 4-pin wiring harnesses. Those are recommended for over 1,000-pound trailer, and then they are required by law for over 2,000 pounds. Then we have these little lights here so the cops can see your license plate. Our rear parking sensors, which are just all around here. So those will beep when you're getting too close to something, let you know to stop backing up and you're not going to hit it. Then we have our dual exhaust coming out of the bumper there. Looks nice and slick. Our towing, our hitch, I don't know. I think that might be a class 4 hitch. I don't know how to tell my hitches apart just yet, but I think that might be a class 4 hitch. Alright, it's kind of cold, so sorry if you hear me sniffling. This is our deployable bed step over here. So go ahead and kick that down. You can see that that comes out there, and then that just helps you step up. It doesn't go back in once you step on it. So you go ahead and push that inward, it goes back up. Got our backup camera here and our nice big Ram badging. We open this up, you can see we have a tonneau cover up on top. And then we have our cargo divider in the middle there. So that just helps, say you're trying to haul some propane tanks and you don't want them flying around in the back. You can go ahead and move that along these indents and have that tucked up against them so that way they're not moving around, they'll be nice and secure. You just lock it and unlock it with that little middle latch there. For your tonneau cover, you would use those latches to open it and then fold it up. It does have the spray and bed liner, so you don't have to worry about it getting scratched up. It's well protected with that. And then we have our LED bed lights. So those just light up so you can see what's in your truck bed. And then our what are they? Our little hooks for tying down your cargo. So we have these ones in the 4 corners of the truck bed, but we also have these ones that are adjustable. It's kind of hard to see them right now. They're right there. Those are just tucked underneath our tonneau cover, but you can also use those to tie down your cargo as well. They are adjustable, so you can slide them along this entire thing, and then they'll be in the right position for you so you can tie down your cargo well. So there's a look back here. What else can I mention? Oh, we have that little light up there. It's just, oh, I forgot. Okay, wait. I forgot, you didn't see that. Shoot. Okay, I don't have the key with me, but it does also have the remote tailgate release, and it can also lift up as well. Let me go grab that so I can show you actually, because this is pretty cool. So, I'm so sorry for all my stuff right now. Alright, let's go back here. So, you see this here? So we have our remote keyless entry, remote tailgate release, remote start, and the remote lowering, because it does have that air ride, so you can lower the truck or raise it up, but I believe the raising you can only do inside. So for the remote tailgate release, we click that, it goes on down, there you go, and then we click it again. Oh, does it not? There we go, you have to hold it. Oh, you have to hold it the whole time. Okay, we're learning together. There you go, and then it closes back up all on its own, but you do have to hold it down. So there's that. And then if you are like manually doing it, you don't have your key like I did the first time, this is what reminded me. So I went to go lift it up, and then you feel that little bit of resistance, but it does go up automatically too. I don't know why I won't do it now. I swear. It does. It does do it. But there we go. Oh, yes. Oh yeah, this also reminds me, for our tail lights, we have our sensors for our blind spot monitoring, as well as our, what is it, rear cross path detection. So the rear cross path detection looks in both directions either way. If you're pulling out of a parking spot, you don't have much visibility and someone's coming from that side, it'll alert you, and it can also have the emergency braking, so it'll apply the brakes to help deter that accident. And then the blind spot monitoring can see up to 10 feet behind you and 1 lane over. That can also extend for your trailer, so it can see up to 40 feet if you're towing a trailer. It will adjust automatically for that, because as you're making your turns, it'll learn how long the trailer is and then compensate for that. And then when someone is in your blind spot, you would see this little triangle on our mirror here light up, and that just helps alert you. So all you have to do is check your mirrors. You'll know someone's in your blind spot. It just helps avoid any error. Our ram box on this side as well. Same thing as the other side. Lots and lots of space with both of those. Back here we have our, well, they're in all 4-wheel wells, but we have these hard plastic liners. So that'll help anything from getting up there. It'll help prevent any rocks from shooting up and denting from the inside. And it's really nice that they're a hard plastic instead of the fabric, because those fabric ones get weighed down by mud and then they rub along your wheel, which wears down your wheels and also sucks to replace. I would know because I had those ones, so I really appreciate these plastic liners that they have. One thing also to mention is we have a 6-bolt pattern, so that just helps them be rated to handle more weight instead of the 5-bolt pattern. So they're just better. Okay, now we'll look back here. Same thing as the other side. We got our door pockets, our power windows, our sound system with our speakers on here. Sound system on the back of the seat. We got our back seat pocket, so you can stick a book, a magazine, or a map if you carry those around. We got our ram boxes tucked away in here. We have our headrests that fold down. That one comes up if you need. And then our premium leather seats. This side folds up as well. One thing I didn't mention about the other side, which I can mention here, is that this little, oh, that's just my clipboard, ignore that. Is that this little divider here, okay, I can't do it because I have that box over there, but it comes up and then it'll split here. So if you want to like tuck something behind here and don't want it flying around at your feet, you can go ahead and do that, and then that'll just help keep whatever you store underneath here tucked away. All right, I think that's enough back here. You know what, there's probably many more things I could talk about, but we're gonna skip over it. Oh, well, this reminded me, we have this bed to cab insert that just helps with aerodynamics. If you have a look here, the bed is also inset from the cab, so that just also helps with aerodynamics, helps reduce drag, whatnot. When we look in here, it has a double flap fuel filter that just helps stop debris and dirt and whatnot from getting in there. All right, now we'll go on to the driver's side, where there's a million and one things to talk about. This is probably going to be an hour-long video because usually this is the point where I have the most to talk about, but I've done nothing but talk, so bear with me. All right, so our door has tons and tons in it. We got our door pockets, which have these little foam inserts that just helps keep your smaller drinks nice and secure. We have our adjustments for our seats, which I kind of showed you on the other side. So those have all these same adjustments. One plus that this one has that other side does not have is we have the driver memory setting. So if you are switching between drivers quite a bit, you can go ahead and use this to remember your driver memory settings. So you set your seat exactly how you like it to be, and then you would go ahead and set it to driver memory 1. And then when your next driver hops in, they adjust their seat, they set it to number 2, and all you have to do is press that and it'll adjust automatically instead of you having to sit there and fiddle with it. Massaging seats, the intensity of that. Over here we have these ones control our lights, I believe. So there we go, you press that, that controls the light there. I didn't quite look at what that one does. Okay, that lights up the one at the back, so that's not even your turn signal. That's just a light. Okay, we're learning together. This one does your telescoping, so you would have to select which mirror. No, never mind, that's for the bottom. For the telescoping, you would click that, and then you click outwards, and they move in or out as need be. This one adjusts your little tow mirror there. So you go ahead and use that, and then adjust that. Folding them in, you press this one here and they fold right in on both sides. Press it again and they fold back out. Power windows, power locks. This locks the mirrors. Very fancy door, very beautiful. We're gonna hop on in. I'll talk a bit more about the things in here. All right, so down here we have our headlamp adjustment. So this is the adjustments for your headlights. So you can adjust it to auto, to on, to your fog lamps. Adjust the brightness of it on the side there. Below that we have our adjustments for our power adjustable pedals. So you can pull. Oh, also one thing to mention about the pedals is they are the Mopar Bright pedal kit. So they're nice and bright. They're not your typical black pedals. They're nice and shiny. They're a little bit dirty from my boots right now. And then you can adjust them, so pull them forward or push them farther away. Let's see if we can see that there. Yeah, you can see them moving. That's just so that way you can have the most comfortable ride, adjust it to be at the most comfortable spot for you. If you have shorter legs, sometimes you want to pull them a little closer. If you have longer legs, you want to push them a little farther away. Below that we have our control for our outlet in the ram. Oh, I didn't even show you. Okay, but in our left side ram box, so on the driver's side, it does have an outlet. Let me see, can you? All right, and then this one just turns on the power to that outlet. So this one only controls the one in the ram box. For the interior outlets, like this one down here, those ones are on automatically as long as the truck is on. But for the one in the ram box, you do need to turn the power to that on. Okay, oh my gosh. I'm overwhelmed with just how many things there are to talk about. This truck is fully loaded, guys. Like, all right, so this is our beautiful steering wheel. All of our buttons on it, so we can switch between our different drive modes. So we have snow, tow mode, sport mode, off-road, and auto. Usually it's on auto, and then you would just switch to different modes as need be. That just helps. It's different shifting patterns, so how it shifts will vary depending on the mode. These are our gear limits, so if you want to gear up or gear down, just so you have more control over that. And we have our cruise control and our adaptive cruise control. The adaptive cruise control just helps keep you the same distance from the vehicle ahead of you, and that just helps you when you're on a long car trip and stuff like that. You don't want to have to keep slowing down, speeding back up in that kind of traffic, so you can go ahead and use that and it'll slow down automatically. It can apply the brakes, and I believe it can also go all the way up to a full stop just to help prevent any accidents like that. So as the vehicle ahead of you is slowing down, you'll slow down as well. It also has the active driving assist system. So it will drive automatically. It'll use its lane sensing and your parking sensors, your adaptive cruise control. It'll use all of that to drive the vehicle. You still need to be aware. So it has this little sensor here, which isn't typically on our steering wheel. So this is our little sensor here. It's looking at you. It's making sure that your eyes are on the road and that your hands are on the steering wheel. So you can go ahead and use that, and it just helps ease the load on you. So it's just less to worry about, but you do need to still be aware because it's not a fully automated system. Like, it still wants the driver to partake in that, so that way you have that extra sense of safety. But when you click that on, it does turn on, and you can see it up there. Active driving assist ready. Lane detection limited. So you do need to have visible lane markings on the road. I'm in a parking lot right now, so it doesn't have any. But as long as the lane markings are very visible on the road, it'll keep you within that lane. You'll keep at the same speed. It'll apply the brakes as needed. That's just your active driving assist. Over here we have our controls for our driver information display, which is a full, 12-inch full color cluster display. So the cluster is completely digital, and then you can adjust what's on there with these buttons here. This one is to just access the quick menu to scroll through our different options there. This is our answer call, end call. This also is our voice recognition, so when you hold that down, it pops up your voice recognition, I believe. It should. There we go. So when your Bluetooth is paired, then you can go ahead and tell it what to do. Right now we're on our speedometer. I'm going to scroll down. You can see our driving assist system, so our active lane management, adaptive cruise control, active driving assist, anything like that will be here for you to view. This one is our off-roading our vehicle information. So this is the terrain status. So you can set the different terrain, that would be like your driving modes and stuff like that. It'll adapt based on the road conditions in auto, but you can, like, if you set it to snow mode, it'll be in snow mode, and it'll see, you can see that information here. Then it also shows, because this has air ride and you can raise the ride height or lower it, it'll show it right here. And then controls for adjusting that are just right here. So if I wanted to lower it or raise it, I'll go ahead and click these here. It's going to show right now that we're raising it, and then it says raising, and it'll show what is that, off-road maximum ground clearance. So it'll show the amount of clearance that you have. So that's good if you're riding on like extra rough terrain, you want that extra clearance. But one thing to keep in mind is that we do also have skid plates. So we have the fuel tank skid plate, transfer case skid plate, and steering gear skid plate. So it's all protected on the bottom anyways, but this just helps so that way you're not like dragging around on the ground if it's rough. Oh yeah, and also we have our regular vehicle information. So our range and our fuel economy, our gauge summary, oil level, tire pressure, and then your start-stop system, which is when it turns the engine off when you're stopped at a stoplight or whatnot. And then it won't engage under certain conditions. So if your seatbelt is unbuckled, if you're low fuel, if the check engine light is on, there's quite a few requirements for it to be able to engage. So it just shows you if it's on or not there. Since my seatbelt is unbuckled, it won't turn off the engine. This one is our trip information, so trip A and trip B. Below that we have our navigation, so you can see the full navigation on the cluster. We have our off-roading, so that's our pitch and roll, you can see that there, and then our vehicle dynamics, which shows our drivetrain and our steering angle. Below that we have our trailer information, so this is our trailer tow, which tracks our distance. So that way you just know when to like maintain your trailer, so when to replace brakes and whatnot. Then we have our trailer brakes, so you can see the gain there, which you also set over here. We have our physical controller, and then you can also use the digital adjustments. Then trailer tire pressure, so you do have to set up those tire pressure monitors that are located in the glove box. Once you have those set up, you can see the tire pressure there as well. And then our audio stored messages is our, like if it says check engine and whatnot, it'll store that message here. And we also have the heads up display, so it has this little thing here, has a little screen, it'll show your speedometer. Can you see? Oh my god, you can see it. Okay, so it shows our speed limit, and then when you are going, it'll show the actual speed that you're going. So it's just so that way you don't have to take your eyes off the road as much, you'll just see it while you're going down. And your screen setup, so you can set up what information you want in which spots. And then back to our speedometer. Okay, moving along, we have our electronic shift on the fly transfer case. It is a full-time, so we have 4-wheel drive auto, 2-wheel drive, 4 high and 4 low. We have our auto start stop, so if you don't like that it shuts off the engine when you're stopped at a stoplight, you can turn that off. Once it's highlighted, it is off. We have our, I forget what this is called, select speed control. So it's basically like a slow motion cruise control, like if you're driving around the bush or something like that. You can do that. That's for when you're like in 4 low and you want to crawl over like rough terrain. You do need to be in 4 low, then you would select this. I can't remember how fast you can go. I think it's like 8 kilometers per hour or something, like 15 kilometers per hour. So really slow, but that just helps when you're going over rough terrain. You want to make sure that you're not going to go too fast while using your 4-wheel drive. And we have our axle lock, so that just locks your rear axle, so that way you have that extra traction when needed, so both your tires will spin at the same speed. My gosh, my voice is starting to feel rough. Okay, then we have our home page, which has our adjustable widgets. Media, we have our AM, FM radio, Sirius XM radio, as well as you can connect through Bluetooth, USB, USB-C port, auxiliary, all of that there. We have our presets down at the bottom. In our comfort pages, you can see our heated and vented seats, heated steering wheel. I believe these ones down here are for the rear. We have our fan settings, air circulation, AC, front and rear window defrosters, and then we also have our massaging function here as well. So you can adjust all of the different functions for the massaging right here. Like you can see that there's so many options. So all of that's there. This is where we connect our Bluetooth and manage our devices. Then we have our vehicle pages. So this one is for all of our settings. So for all of your display, your entertainment screens, your lights, your cameras, your mirrors and wipers, which it does have the rain sensing automatic wipers, auto folding side mirrors. All of this kind of stuff is adjusted. Like, it has tons and tons of things that you can adjust. It's all customizable. So it's really good to play with it when you first get your vehicle and set it up how you'd like it to be, and adjust it as you go along. Sometimes you think you'll like something and then you don't, so you go and fix it later on. Then you can also see all of our safety and driving assist systems. So the automatic emergency braking, you can go into there. You can see it works with your forward collision warning, and then it'll apply the brakes, or you can have it so it doesn't apply the brakes, it just warns you. Your active lane management, which keeps you within your lane markings, and it does provide steering assist, so you will feel it pull if you have that on. And that's just to keep you within your lane. It'll only adjust to keep you within your lane markings. Traffic sign assist, so it'll tell you about traffic signs, if you want the warning on or not. Park sense based camera activation, so if you're getting close to something, it'll activate the camera. Blind spot alert, like, there are so many things. Trailer length for blind spot. You can adjust your power side steps if you want them to store, or if you want them to automatically come out. So much to play with there. Then apps, it's just kind of some, vehicle. Okay, before I move on, we have our off-road pages and towing and trailering pages. Then we have our camera system. So we have tons and tons of different views that you can view for your cameras, and then you can kind of just click through them as you go. Tons of different options, and you just kind of play with it. But the 360 view I find is just the best for when you're trying to get into a tight parking space. You can see your markings there and get in there easy peasy. All right, now we go to our navigation. We have our navigation page, which is really nice on this really big screen. You can see basically my entire town, so that's nice. You can also connect your navigation through your phone as well. And we have our physical buttons on the side here. Below that, we have our, this is for your trailer reverse guidance. So when you're reversing, you can actually guide your trailer with that. That just helps turn it as need be. Trailer brake controller, our USB and USB-C ports. Usually we only have these two columns here. We have an extra one, so even more, but you probably won't even need it. It has 2 wireless chargers, so all you do is set your phone here. It'll charge wirelessly as long as your phone is capable of that. And below that, we have our 115 volt outlet. This liner at the bottom is removable, so if you spill something down there, you can take that out and clean it easy peasy. And we have our 2 cup holders, which do have a little panel to hide them in, feel extra fancy. Then we have our change compartments and a little storage space there, as well as another panel to hide that. I just want to show you this. This is really fancy. So it says tungsten. This is that solid metal piece. Just very, very fancy. Then we have this storage space in the middle here with an extra USB port. And then we have this deep storage space, which has this little panel that comes up to divide your cargo down there. Not quite cargo, but your little, whatever you throw it on there. And we have this cool little metric sheet there. So that's just like for conversions and such. It's just nice that they do something with that extra space. It's there anyways, might as well utilize it. Then up here we have our controls for our panoramic sunroof. So this one would be for your what is it called, shade. This one's to open up the sunroof. This is if you just want to vent it. This one's for our rear power sliding window. This is our tailgate release. Our interior lights, if you want to turn them off, so that just when you open up the doors, they won't turn on automatically. If you want to turn all of them on, you click that one there. Our roadside assistance and our SOS buttons. Then on our rear view mirror, we have our regular rear view mirror, but if you go ahead and pop that in there, then we have a digital, like it's a live camera feed. So it does have a camera back there where I pointed out the light on the above the truck bed, and it just so that's nice if you have anything in the back seat or in your truck bed that's blocking off the view there. Then you can go ahead and use this to see behind you. You can also adjust, so if you click this one, we can adjust the view. If you have your trailer hooked up, you can have it so that way you can see behind the trailer. And then you can also adjust the brightness of it as well as the view, so you can move it up or down. and then you pop that back out to turn it back. It is also automatically dimming. We have our universal home remote, so you can connect that to your garage door, your lights, your home security system, all that kind of stuff. I'm trying to rush this because we're already 39 minutes in. You're probably tired of hearing me talk, but I think we got through it. I think we got through this together, guys. All right, so there's probably more. Honestly, you're gonna have to come down and see it yourself and play with it, because it has everything. There's one final look at the interior. Super fancy, probably the most beautiful interior I've ever seen. And then one final look at the outside. So if you have any questions or you want to take it for a test drive, or come play with all the buttons and things, come on down to Big Lakes Dodge. We'd be happy to help you out, or give us a call. And yeah, see you in the next one.